Now, you guys know that I didn't watch the game yesterday, but I still got myself a whole bunch of updates as to what happened and what exactly it is people are talking about. In particular, Nikolay Goldobin, who is... I don't even know, guys. Like, I was talking about it with my friends yesterday, asking them, hey, what happened? What was the game like? I heard Goldie was benched. What exactly is the problem here? And Goldobin was lazy in the game, and he took a lazy penalty in the game, apparently. That's what I've heard. And it's because of this that he actually got scratched for the remainder of the third period. He wasn't used, and nobody really even thought that he was actually going to be used anymore, which is what ended up happening. He only played 8 minutes on the entire night, and that's quite incredible if you ask me. But Nikolay Goldobin is a player who a lot of people have been kind of putting into those rumors a little bit over the past few days. And if we talk about it, let's bring up some of Corey Hirsch's quotes on Sportsnet 650. This was said a little bit earlier here too. Corey Hirsch was asked about trades. Goldobin right now can do nothing right. Unfortunately, there are not many teams who want him. There just isn't a market for him out there. And it's quite interesting to take a look at it. I mean, Travis Green has been criticized in the past for not having Goldobin out there in times like overtime and whatnot, using guys like Marcus Granlund and Brendan Sutter in his place, and a lot of Vancouver Canucks fans have also expressed disinterest in this idea. But it's quite interesting to see, because Nikolay Goldobin has been labeled with a few things. First off, he's been labeled as defensively irresponsible, lazy, and it's quite apparent that the problems that he had last year that prevented him from staying with the team for the entirety of the season are still, in some form, kind of there today. Which, let's face it, I might be a little bit biased in saying that I've been kind of turning a blind eye to that because of the fact that he has been riding on Pettersson's tails, and he has been on the power play, and he has been getting a ton of points, but a lot of people look at that and say it's not enough to make up for all the other things that he does that aren't necessarily all too good. And because of this, and the whole controversy that's been coming up, he's been scratched a few games, and he's been sitting out for a long, extended amount of time on the Canucks bench. There's been trade talks about him. And they talked about it yesterday, last night, on Sportsnet 650. The idea of trading Nikolay Goldobin, and the conclusion that was reached on the show is that the market for him isn't necessarily there. Now, if the Vancouver Canucks did the opposite of trading him and instead placed him on waivers to go down to Utica, that's when the Sportsnet guys were like, yeah, no, he's getting claimed. 100% he's getting claimed if he's getting sent down to Utica. It doesn't matter how good or how bad he is, he's getting claimed. And Nikolay Goldobin is a player who, he only has 5 goals on the year, which is less than Marcus Granlund. That was a point that was brought up by Jason Botchford on the podcast. And Goldobin, even though he does have 18 assists, he's at 23 points. He's on pace for roughly 45-ish points, which is not bad. He's still a player who a lot of people would label as defensively liable and not good enough away from the puck. We see it time and time again, the fact that Goldobin is indeed probably the second smartest player on the team in terms of puck skills and the ability to do things when he has the puck, but it's just that everything else around that is not up to par, and I think it's eye-opening to take a look at it and say, well, there's kind of a reason why Travis Green is scratching him, and I think a lot of people have been frustrated with that. I know I certainly have been, because I've been on the Goldobin hype train for a long time now, but it's been quite ignorant of me, personally, to just sit here and say that he absolutely deserves everything that he's not been given, because it's kind of true. Goldobin isn't necessarily that beast of a player that his point totals might suggest. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want him to succeed. If Goldobin came in here today like another Pettersson, I'd be happy with that, and I'd love that. But the other issues are quite substantial as well, and it's because of that people are kind of suggesting whether or not the Vancouver Canucks would trade Goldie. And that begs the question, what exactly is he worth? Because a lot of teams would probably give something up for a 5-goal, 18-assist man for 23 points, right? There's probably something that we could get back, but no one's actually put a label on that. If I had to personally guess, I'd say maybe a second, maybe add a little bit more, a second and something else, I'm not too sure. I mean, we got this guy for Jannik Hansen, for crying out loud. Jannik Hansen's in the KHL. We essentially got Goldobin for free at this point, and it's up to us whether or not we decide, do we trade him for more pieces, or do we run with this project and see if we can mold him into that player that we want him to be? Because I think nobody's looking at Goldobin's offensive game and saying that that's subpar. It's literally everything else. And the fact that he is 23, turning 24 at the end of the year, it is quite concerning, but it's not as concerning as it could be if he was a 25, 26-year-old player, which he's obviously not. So overall, Goldobin's in a really weird spot. He's still one of the best point scorers on the team, but there's a reason why he's not being utilized over guys like Granlund and Sutter and whatnot in key moments like overtime. So overall, it's a very weird situation, and I honestly have no idea where it's going to go. Look out for that, though, because we could just be seeing either the start of something brand new or the start of a new player in Goldobin. Hope you guys enjoyed this British Plus/9 Gaming, and bye.